Across the ancient landscape of Israel, a deep shadow of oppression fell as the relentless Midianite hordes swept through the fertile lands like a devastating, countless plague, stealing their harvest and crushing their hope year after year. In the midst of this despair, a man named Gideon, filled with the heavy burden of fear and doubt, hid deep within a winepress, desperately beating out a meager yield of grain away from the ravenous enemy. Then, suddenly, the very presence of the Lord descended upon him in a burst of divine light, commissioning him with a staggering, almost unbelievable command to go and deliver his people from the Midianites. Gideon, overwhelmed by his own weakness and the sheer impossibility of the task, naturally questioned this colossal undertaking, asking how such a small family from the weakest clan in Manasseh could possibly conquer such a vast army. To solidify this incredible mandate, Gideon humbly requested a tangible sign from his divine caller, first asking for a portion of food to be consumed by the angel's staff, which immediately consumed the offering in fire from the rock. Reassured, but still needing complete certainty, he then pleaded for the fleece laid out on the threshing floor to be covered only with dew overnight, receiving confirmation when the morning revealed the fleece soaked while the ground remained perfectly dry. Upon this second undeniable miracle, Gideon's heart finally shifted from trembling fear to firm resolve, and he immediately sounded the call to arms, gathering an impressive host of 32,000 men ready to face the enemy. Yet, the Lord declared that this number was far too great, revealing that a victory won by such a massive host would cause Israel to take the glory for themselves, rather than giving it entirely to God. In a dramatic reduction, God commanded Gideon to send home every man who felt afraid, and remarkably, 22,000 soldiers immediately departed, leaving behind a mere 10,000 men to face the formidable Midianite encampment. Still, this remaining force was deemed too large, so God devised a final, counterintuitive test at the water's edge, watching how each man knelt to drink before the final selection would be made. Only those who cautiously lapped the water with their hands held up to their mouths, like a cautious watchman surveying the field, would become the chosen few, leaving just 300 men to carry the fate of the nation. These 300 men, now stripped of overwhelming numbers, stood ready, not with massive phalanxes, but with the strange equipment of an unexpected spiritual battle: empty clay pitchers, loud trumpets, and hidden fire. Under the absolute cover of deepest night, Gideon led his tiny, faith-filled contingent to surround the massive, unsuspecting Midianite camp, completely enveloping them in the silent darkness. At the precise, shared signal, every man simultaneously shattered his clay pitcher, instantly revealing the blinding torch held within and transforming the darkness into a sudden, shocking spectacle of light. Then, in a terrifying wave of coordinated chaos, the 300 men raised their trumpets to their lips and blew a deafening, unified blast that echoed wildly through the startled enemy ranks. The Midianites, completely disoriented by the sudden eruption of light, the piercing sound, and the realization that they were surrounded by an unseen multitude, turned upon each other in a confused, panicked frenzy. Seeing their enemy dissolve into absolute mayhem, the Israelite army watched in astonishment as the once mighty host was utterly routed, fleeing in terror from the small band who trusted completely in their unseen commander. This victory was never about the size of the army or the strength of the sword, but about the radical obedience of 300 men who chose to believe the impossible promise of the living God. Embrace the truth that when your own strength fails, God's power is most perfectly displayed through the faithfulness of your surrender, proving once again that true victory comes through absolute trust, not through earthly might. May the story of Gideon's unlikely 300 remind you that your greatest accomplishments will always stem from the moments you chose faith over fear when the odds seemed completely insurmountable. We invite you to deeply consider this lesson in courage and divine partnership, recognizing that the battles you face today are perfectly sized for the God who calls you. Let the narrative of unwavering belief resonate within you, compelling you to act on God's voice even when the entire world, and even your own heart, screams that it is utterly insane. Remember this powerful testament to God's method, that when we are weakest and most insufficient, He steps in to claim the undeniable glory for His unmatched, conquering strength.